What are some of the strategic threats to the United States of America? It's an important question that Americans are asking all the time, especially now. Well, Congress had a chance to ask DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas and FBI Director Wray about that today, but as you would imagine, there was a lot of non-answers and a lot of dodging. DHS Chief Mayorkas was confronted about the border, specifically how back in 2019, Obama's DHS Secretary, remember him, Jay Johnson, said 1,000 border crossings a day was overwhelming the system. That number is now up to 10,000 a day. Mayorkas couldn't even answer if it was overwhelming the system. He lied again. Watch.
Is there a number? Would you like to give a number? I asked for a number. That was my question. What number to you represents a bad day? And are you refusing to answer the question?
Vice Chairman Guest, as I said, we do not minimize the significance of the challenge at the southwest border.
That wasn't my question, Mr. Mayorkas. I asked a simple question. Give me a number. And you're filibustering, and you're refusing to answer the question. What is that number?
I have answered your question.
No, you haven't, Mr. Mayorkas. You've not answered the question.
Join me now, Florida Congressman Byron Donalds. Congressman, it's just me. This is my opinion. It's not Newsmax. It's not my wife's. Not my. That guy is one of the most despicable people ever to hold an office of a cabinet secretary position, maybe of anyone in D.C. right now. The guy constantly lies. He backpedals. He lies to cover up his other lies. Congressman, 8 Republicans voted to keep that man in his job. Why?
Well, look, first of all, Alejandro Mayorkas absolutely sucks. The man's terrible. He's terrible at the job because he's doing the bidding of Joe Biden and the radical staff at the White House and at the Department of Homeland Security. Let's just establish that for the record. I can't speak for those colleagues. I disagree with them. I voted to allow the impeachment to go forward, but I will also say that the investigation into Alejandro Mayorkas by Homeland Chairman Mark Green is ongoing to make sure all the information is brought to the fore, because he does deserve to be impeached. He has lied to Congress, and worse yet, he has lied to the American people consistently. He is not telling the truth. He won't even give a number of what brings stress to our southern border because he knows it is a massive cover-up by this administration.
How many times has he said the border is secure? How many times has he said we don't have a problem at the border? And then when confronted with Obama's DHS secretary saying 1,000 was overwhelming the system, he just can't admit it. Every time I see that guy on camera, my head explodes. I'm sorry. Well, how do we get rid of him? And do we?
Well, I got a better one for you. What has happened to the United States of America when the American people are asking for Obama's level of border crossings? I mean, think about this, because it's not like Barack Obama was setting the world on fire when it came to securing our border. But that is how bad the problems have gotten under Joe Biden and under Alejandro Mayorkas. Look, here's the reality. We can impeach him tomorrow on the floor. Will the Senate convict him and get rid of it? No, because the dumb Democrat senators just said yesterday to the people of Israel that the IRS agents matter more to them than actually helping Israel defeat Hamas. That's what happened yesterday on the United States Senate. So we can impeach him in the House, but we have radicals in the Senate who want this to happen. They do not want anything to change. And unfortunately for the American people, this stuff has to be defeated at the ballot box in 2024.
Really, unfortunately for the American people, let's put up the full screen of the 8 GOPers who voted to keep Mayorkas from being impeached. Again, you weren't going to get him out of office yet, but you're certainly going to send a message and maybe clean him up or tell Biden, Barack O'Biden, to get rid of this clown. Congressman, I got to go. Final thought though on why. I know you can't get in their heads, but there's got to be a motive. Is it their own elections matter more than the American border? Is that possible?
Well, look, I don't want to go that far. I think that for some of those members, they were looking at the actual articles that were written. They had some issues with the drafting. They probably want the investigations in Homeland to continue. And there's some merit to that, although I don't agree with them when it comes to their decision to refer it to committee. But let me also say this. House Republicans overall, we have a responsibility to use every legislative tool going forward, appropriations, this massive supplemental that Joe Biden wants, to do everything possible to get them to secure this this border because they're not going to do it by themselves. House Republicans are going to have to stand firm and use these legislative tools to get the job done.
Thank you so much, Congressman Byron Donalds. Appreciate your time, my friend. Florida Congressman, live in the state of Florida. Great job. Thank you. All right, folks, more balance coming up next.